Hey guys, this is Kai from WCC, and today we're going to be looking at the face of standard for the next couple of months, and that is Bermuda Triangle. Now, why is Bermuda so dominating and taking all the top spots in every single tournament it goes to? Well, that's because Bushiroad released a new anime for Bermuda Triangle, which means they have to sell 2 animes with this set, while all the other clans only have to sell one. So that's why it feels like Bermuda is just twice as good as every other clan. So for now, we'll look through the deck and then we'll talk about the combos or lack of combos it has because it's just that good and how to try and beat it. So first of all, it runs 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal, very standard. Now the grade 1 lineup is running Cier for the Harmony search. You're running Steza for the recycle and the draw, and you're running Aurora for the filter. For grade 2s, you're running Mine, which in this deck pretty much just reads draw 2, put 1 back into the deck. You're running Broom, kind of has defensive power and has an on-hit counterblast on draw, but really it's just filler. And you're running Leeslet. Probably one of the best cards they've released in a TD for a very long time. If you draw it early, you pretty much just blow your opponent out of the game because your grade 3s are fat. So you're running 3 of the 3 kinds of melody grade 3s. You're running Sonata, Fina, and Caro. Now your main melodies are Sonata and Caro. Those 2 will plus you, and they give you the best boosts out of the 3. And the Fina is just there because it's a melody and it can give intercept in that situation, but mostly it's just there for the melody. In a rare case, you ride it, which is bad times, but then hopefully you have a Broom and you can Soul Blast 2 and get an on hit and draw 1. But very rare situation. You're going for Sonata, you're going for Caro, then your field's going to pump to super fat mode, and then you're just going to steamroll your opponent. Now, how does this deck play? And the combos it has, it actually doesn't have a crazy amount of combos. You play melodies, they all get each other's effects, and suddenly everything gets super fat and bashed. Let's say like a really bad situation occurred. You rode like a Caro, and you didn't hit anything with a Cier. How is your field looking? Well, your Caro can search another Caro, and then now that Caro boosts for 23k, and then the force column is on the other side. That's hitting for probably 28 with a boost. So you've got one column hitting 28, another column's hitting 33, and if you're boosting your Caro, that's hitting like 21. So that's still pretty damn good for a first grade 3 ride. At the worst case, if you go Sonata, Caro, and then you play another Sonata or another melody, everything is hitting fat, and your opponent just can't keep up. How do you deal with this deck? Well, people think of the triangle, right? And they go, Protect decks seem to do pretty well against Force. So if I play Protect, I should be able to beat this deck. That is very far from the truth. The one way that Force can beat Protect is before they would just ride grade 3s, and they'd get lots of Force markers, and then suddenly everything is hitting pretty fat that your opponent cannot actually use normal cards to guard them. They always have to use at least 2 or more cards, and eventually the Protect decks will just run out of hand and die. Now, the biggest problem to that is this deck doesn't need to keep on riding grade 3 to get force markers to hit big. It naturally hits big. Then early on, it naturally builds a field for free and then just bashes you. So Protect does not seem to be the way to beat it. Maybe Angel Feather because it can heal, but even then, this deck has the opportunity to just sledgehammer you out of oblivion. Probably one of the best ways to deal with this deck is to play something that will mass retire. We're looking at Shadow Paladins, and we're looking at Kagero, the new Kagero that's coming out. Basically, they can retire the field of this deck, and once the field is retired, it mitigates their next turn potential unless they're super lucky. When you're playing Force versus Force, no matter how good your deck is, unless it's absolutely broken, it's still kind of a coin flip match. And that's what you want to bring this match up to become, if you're not playing Bermuda versus Bermuda, you're playing Bermuda versus Cargo, you're playing Bermuda versus Shadow, you want to bring this game to a coin flip so that both decks can win. That's it, because that's the best that you're going to do. Maybe even Royals. Royals sounds like it's just too slow, but you want to push this deck up to higher damage. It does draw quite a bit, but maybe they won't get it. You want to retire their key cards or just retire their entire field and then just go for those coin flip plays, and you'll naturally just get a win because it's force versus force. One thing to know, some variations to deck is later on people do play Serena, because although you do have like these cards that draw you cards, you have a recycler. Once your field gets retired, it's pretty tough. However, if you just ride a Serena, you can pretty much get a full field back and then just bash them next turn super fat. So this deck, if you want to get into it, it's pretty broken, but the cost wise, it will probably break your wallet as well, because there's just so much hype for it. It will probably be relevant for quite a while too, just because it just hits, like I've said it many times this video, it hits fat. If something hits so strongly in standard, it will just win games. So if you get this deck, it's definitely going to be pretty relevant for the next few months, at least until the end of Springfest for English. There is a rumored ban list that is coming out next week, and we don't know what's going to be on it. It could be Bermuda, just based on its representation and its tops. So on the Japanese side, it might get hit, but based on the previous tournaments circuits, those bans don't come into play until after our circuit is over. So you at least get 2 months of play for this deck before it might get hit. In terms of when Force 2 and Imaginary Gift 2 comes out, this is a really good Force 2 clan just because it already hits fatly, and then everything else, getting a crit will just break that game. So if you have the money and you want to buy a boat with a harem, this is a really good deck. It will win you games just because it's so powerful. And you can get it from wcc-tcg.com. There's my shill. So hope you guys love playing against and playing with Bermuda. If you don't, there's always Premium, where there's more Bermuda, but with Premium Collection coming out, there is a lot more decks that are also available. So look into Premium. Revival Collection just came out. Enjoy, have fun playing Vanguard, and we'll talk about more Bermuda very soon. Bye.